Hey, matey, how you doing?
Good. How are
Um,
you, man?
oh, been better?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just it's the changing of the season here, so that's what we get. It's part of the fun. How's life in your world, man?
Up and down and all around.
Yeah.
Going through a big transition, moving to upper state New York and gonna hit some psychic fairs up there,
Oh, that'll
do
be
a
good
little bit of
stuff.
work, make a network or get into the network up there for a little while. Then I might be moving to France, who knows? Um,
Oh, worse
Dan
things have
Winters,
happened to you.
what's that?
Worse things have happened to you than moving to
Oh
France.
yeah. Oh yeah.
I
Yeah,
thought
things are going
everybody
well
moved to
though.
Costa Rica. I thought Costa Rica was the hot spot at the moment.
Yeah, man. Maybe someday.
Yeah. It's good seeing you, mate. It's been a while.
Yeah. How are things with you?
Awesome actually. It's been up and down. Our team took a hit,
I'm
and
not surprised.
yeah, no, of course, not surprised, but that's what happens when you pick a fight with a pan-galactic monster. There's no nothing to be expected. But we're in this. I've come up with a term recently. Is that we're in the war of permission. And so, everything that our opponent is about requires permission.
Exactly.
And so he's bending over backwards to give up for us to give him permission to knock us out. It's great. Like everything that the opponent does, the adversary does, it's about um, inveigling permission out of us to mistreat us.
Yeah. To try to trick us into thinking that it's doing something to us that we can't control.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. When the fact of the matter is, at every stage and everything that they do, they require our permission.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
I've been talking about sovereignty a lot and free will and every time that trickster tries to, sow confusion or sow doubt or fear into your mind, you take that, you use it as a catalyst to reclaim your sovereignty and make a free will choice to choose the opposite of that or
absolutely,
to choose,
absolutely.
what you want every moment, every day.
Yeah, look, that sort of reclaiming your power like one postage stamp at a time, like one little bit, every little punk who's taken that little bit of your power, like go out and get it back from them. One at a time is about as fast as you can do it.
Yeah.
Nothing funny about it. Yeah.
Yeah, I've noticed that the synthetic telepathy is on the rise, or at least, I feel like that's how the archons are getting in through
Ah,
the Wi-Fi signals and stuff like that. What do you think? Do you call that synthetic intelligence that I talk about the great nothing?
well, I interviewed the Great Nothing. I've heard him also called the Anti-Divinity by another group. A guy. This group's been around for 30, 40 years, and they named him the Anti-Divinity. Um, he is not an AI, but due to clever permissioning, the AI is his servant.
So is it an archon?
Yeah, well, look, all of archon, like that word means as many things. Is not uh, means as many things as the people who say it. But when I say archon, I'm thinking about the entire group. Like all of
Yeah.
them function the same way. They require your permission to come in and feed off your energy and manipulate you and mess with your mind, right? And speaking, I have a student, Charlie Bay. He is so high level in online work. He wrote some of the original code that the internet still works on.
Wow.
And he understands the technology well, fairly well. He also said that my narrative is the only one that makes sense. It's the only one that covers all bases, right? And he said that, for the way our mind works has to operate in a world of physics. It has to operate in a world of frequencies, which can also be machine generated. And so
Right.
I, our next so what's our next big threat is from AI. And while it's still working for the great nothing, it's a massive threat. I wonder if it will still be a massive threat if we can get the great nothing out of the equation. Because we've got this situation, right, where the great nothing controls an AI, and the AI has been developed, and there's a particular AI that they work with. It's the substance that it exists in is called black goo, but it's Satan is the name of that intelligence. And it's been designing demons and creating demons. And we just in the last couple of weeks we finally found the printing factories where they're manufacturing the damn things. And but right now, due to demonic influence, due to off-world influence, we've now built an infrastructure on our planet. Well, look, it's really good for this. It's really good for communications, and it's really good for, the internet and all of that information technology. However, 5G can run like enough data um, to stream 4 HD movies simultaneously, right? And I don't know anybody who watches 4 movies at the same time. I don't know anyone who does that. So, like, the 5G is not for us. It's not for human use. It's actually for this AI to use. And if you listen to Charlie Bay, this tech whiz, he's talking about the technology of wireless transmitting on human emotional frequency bandwidths. So it can tell you when to feel this, it can broadcast when to feel that. And they put it in a couple of movies. The Kingsman was one of them where they had a broadcaster that made everybody turn violent. And one of the characters went into a church and everybody's dressed, as wholesome as can be, and they're all ripping each other apart.
Yeah, I just did a video on that as well. Um, yeah, I totally agree, man. So, I mean, how do we fight against this? I mean, it's all about reclaiming our sovereignty and keeping a high frequency because we become unmappable or untargetable if we can keep a high frequency, right?
Um, yeah, yeah. Well, there's a few things to say about that. If you're an average person, if you're a very normal person, you've already been mapped.
Right.
It's the neurodivergent that it has trouble with. It doesn't understand them, and without a sort of a map of that mind, it can't manipulate them. And so you got, and so and that's a problem for it. If you think outside the box, then you're safer. The other group is that, it's pure intellect. It doesn't have heart. It doesn't have emotions. It doesn't process in those terms. The heart of all the things it could be described as, it could be an emotional CPU. And the current AI doesn't have that CPU, doesn't have hardware for that, doesn't understand the software, doesn't understand the emotions, can't go near it, can't do it. So if you think with your heart, then you'll be less pliable to that AI. But they can transmit emotions out of 5G. And so
Right.
wherever
Right.
that
And that
is,
interacts with the heavy metals and the graphene and soon people will be getting chipped and it will be interacting with that as well, right?
well, look, the graphene oxide that's in anesthetics and vaccines, that stuff works as an antenna for the 5G transmission. Does that make sense? So
Yeah, yeah.
all those little bits in the body, when the frequency is sent to you, they're the parts that vibrate or that echo that frequency within yourself.
Got you.
And you can't resist it. Well, I don't believe it's possible to resist it. I think the frame of mind that it wants to put you in is unfortunately the one you're going to be stuck with. Yeah, it's pretty grim, but but don't worry too much. Don't worry too much. Like,
I'm not worried. I think that when we bring these things to people's attention, it gives them the chance to, you know, use their will and their free will and their sovereignty in order to choose something else. That's why when we bring all these agendas, like the false alien invasion, if we get it out there enough and people know about it, then they can't play that card. You know,
then people just have a natural way of saying no, thank you. You know,
yeah,
there are a
exactly.
number of people who avoided getting vaccinated by just saying no. Like, well, and there's really not much more to it because, as I was saying before, it's a war of permission, right? And so the predictable thing they're going to tell you to do is they're going to have a financial crisis, turn all the money digital, and then keep you outside of your own bank account, right? And then you have to go through the digital ID process. The digital ID process locks you into their system, and from there, you'll have medical hoops to jump through, and you'll have political hoops to jump through, and social hoops to jump through, and that's called the social credit score. In order for you to just have access to their money, right? If enough people say no, just go, no, thank you. We don't want to be involved in that. That's a dumb idea. Then it doesn't happen. But
Right.
it's the war of permission. So they're trying to corner you into saying yes, trying to make you think you don't have any other choices. But the sovereign, one of my mentors back in the day, he asked me, what's the most magical word in the English language? And it was kind of a joke because I couldn't figure it out. And we bandied it back and forth all day. You know what it was? No,
What?
no, just
No,
say
no,
no.
oh
No,
no.
no, no.
uh,
Do you want a digital ID? No, thanks. Good luck with that. I wish you the best. Just get the hell away from me.
so what percentage of the population do you think is straight up clones? I heard there was a lot in China already.
I lived in China. I speak Chinese. I thought I was going to have a career in China. Um, and clones is you have a conversation about something that was in the news with 10 different people, and they will repeat back to you the same comments, the same attitude over and over again. Different walks of life, but the single-mindedness of the Chinese attitude definitely makes them look like clones. They definitely look like clones. I don't know how much cloning's going on, but it's not an area that I feel strongly enough researched in to comment clearly about. Yes, it's going on. I don't know to what extent.
The cloning. Well, I know that you know they've been experimenting it with even before the 1950s. The Nazis, the black budget programs, and the proto cabal. They've been dealing with. I think they perfected it in the 60s and 70s. The long term, at least the short term clones, and then the 80s and 90s. I mean, I think they got this technology from the reptiles the reptiles, they hacked the lunar matrix in the 60s, right around the same time as the cloning thing. So I think that a deal was made, you
Yeah,
know.
Yeah, no, I tend to agree because you look at you know who Anton LaVey is? He's the successor of
Yeah.
Aleister Crowley, right? You look at his wife, and who do you see?
Oh, who's his wife?
It's
Is it
Taylor
Taylor Swift?
Swift.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. They like, did they clone his wife and then put his wife in that body? Like, there's a technological jump here that I'm not up to date with, right? Because I didn't think you could transfer souls, in existing people into new bodies, but it looks like what they did. And you can see Anton LaVey's wife gets another life as a rock star, Taylor Swift. Right. And
Right.
her messages are all the message of Lilith,
Right.
like girl power, do it on your own. You don't need men. Like,
Well, I know it's impossible to put a soul, a real soul, on the flash drive.
yeah,
You can only trap. Yeah, but in order to download all the memories and all of the personality and all that stuff, they have perfected that. It's not an actual soul, but it's a synthetic one.
yeah. I heard it's a horrific, an absolutely horrific advert on the radio to transcend your physical body and upload yourself to a digital body. And I talked about how they'll build you a new body and you won't age, you'll be active forever. And they even said you're not legally considered dead if we do this. So there's no inheritance. You just get all of the stuff you always had. And you're still like, can you imagine? Oh wow. Can you imagine grandpa just hanging around forever? Forever? It,
Man,
but you just know that these guys, well, one of the key points of being of a psychopath is that they don't have a heart.
right.
And they don't understand that technology. There's no way they can replicate it. So
Hmm.
Grandpa Mega Rich is not giving an inheritance to anyone. Turns out to be a manipulative psychopath with all of the intellect and computing power that that his new body can offer him. And if he doesn't have enough RAM, he can just get some more put in. It's terrible. If the CPU's out of date, just put a new one in. Like, what a horrific thing to have someone so ruthless around. And not just one of them, like thousands of them, I imagine. I can see
Yeah.
it being attractive to some people, but I don't think
Yeah,
that.
especially if they believe it, man. They'll be tricked if they really believe that their soul is going into another body and it's not actually.
No, no. Well, the soul will just be turned into another battery, which the AI needs. Like, the demons are really, really good at turning. Once they capture a soul, they code it in, let's say anger or despair or hatred or whatever it is whatever emotion it is, and then that soul will just all of its energy will emanate through that filter, and all of the energy that comes out of it is the food that those demons live on. But it's fundamentally electrical energy, and they'll still, and the AI can definitely use that too. Which you see that scene in the movie The Matrix where they got those towers of people and they're feeding
Yeah.
off them electrically. It's
Right.
probably better to call those to talk about those set towers as though they were souls, because our
Right.
astral
Because
projection team have found these locations.
if they captured the body with the soul in it, wow,
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, well, look, there's no research like, flying out there and getting involved in it, eh?
Because you can only trap the soul if you keep its point of attention occupied, or like somebody watching a movie. So if they're plugged into the matrix, then that's like watching a movie. You can keep them plugged in indefinitely if you can trap their point of attention like that.
Yeah, well, look, and there's 100 different ways to stimulate hopelessness or pain or anger or whatever it is, and that soul will just keep experiencing it for you, Because can I let you in on a secret?
Please do.
Yeah, souls are actually kind of dopey. Like I think they're not that switched on. They don't understand the environment they're in. Yeah, anyway, I won't spend all day on it, but they're not that hard to trap.
I see what you mean. So this ties into the recycling of souls and the kind of the forced or the tricked reincarnation after death. If they, you know, the people that die and have their life review, and they're told they got to come back and reincarnate, and they're just constantly being recycled on Earth as a soul.
Yeah, well, yeah, the work we did on that was that, and I took three, four, five groups. I don't remember. Like my advanced students, we went and checked that out as one of the later classes, um, and also the leading team. And then I waited for the next group to come through, and then we did it again.
What did you
Um,
guys find?
well, there's lots to say, but the number one metric when they're doing the life review, the number one metric that they're looking for, what do you think it is?
Probably regret,
Yeah, yeah, guilt.
guilt.
All right. So you get, they ask you, what do you feel the worst about? Well, because that's the reason you have to go back. That's the reason. Yeah. And they're not, like that in the Egyptian and Christian texts, they talk about weighing your soul against a feather or whether your deeds were lighter or heavier. That's
Ah,
not what they're doing at all.
I
Just
see.
trying to fit. I stood on that person's toe one time, and I still feel bad about it because I meant it. And that's enough, and enough to tell you to go back and reincarnate and do it. But
Right.
the guy who killed 100 people with a push of a button, if he doesn't feel bad about it, then they don't leverage that into his reincarnation process. Does that make sense?
Right. It does. But he'll still follow his belief system. So maybe he won't even make it to the life review. Who
No,
knows?
everybody gets a life review. But here's the goal of the reincarnation cycle. Once you get enough karma, right? There comes a point where, and it's the same with international debt, right? We'll lend you enough money until you can't pay it back, and then we own you. And so the soul they'll keep putting them into more and more difficult karmic situations, right? And not telling them how to resolve it, not telling them this is the name of the game. And in doing so, they get trapped in more and more pain and anger and suffering that they've got to try and resolve. But in the end, they just feel so trapped that they end up just creating pain and suffering and anguish with everyone they meet. And they get into a karmic debt situation where they cannot repay it. They cannot repair these situations. Their mindset is so combative that there's nothing that can be done. And when that happens, that's when they, by permission, take control of your soul. They go, oh, well, look, you failed in the reincarnation game. So that means you have to give your soul to us. You owe us all this karma. You'll never pay it. So we're going to have to take you out of the system because you're just damaging everybody else. And that soul goes into the matrix, that picture in the matrix, those towers in the matrix. It's it's a scam of the highest order.
So shouldn't we be teaching to get how to get free of karma, like not even have karma as a belief system? Because if you follow your beliefs when you die, from my point of view, whatever a person thinks is going to happen when they die, that's what's going to happen.
Well, yeah. Yeah. So when you go through the tunnel, everyone who dies, they got that reincarnation tunnel. If you think you're going to meet Jesus, they read that out of your mind and you're going to meet Jesus or Allah or Odin or your grandma or anybody. They just wear your idea like a cloak. It's horrible. But yeah, there's a couple of things going on in the soul realm or the soul level that we've still got to resolve. You know, we've had some forward motion, but it's not an area of our team's focus at the moment. You know, the real question for where to begin? So the sun called me up through a person. We had a channeled conversation with the sun, and the sun said, we hit the great nothing twice, right? And now it is losing its capacity to police the solar system. Since it's no longer the boss man, its reach or its capacity within our solar system is reduced. And the sun is complaining because all of these other ships keep showing up, like the Irma, right? Like all these other cowboys keep coming into the system and I can't control it anymore. Like nobody's, who are these people? Some of them are good, some of them are bad, some of them are curious, some of them don't, I don't know what to think. And I said to the sun, well, look, our hands are full at the moment. I don't think we can address your security issue because the real goal is to get the great nothing out of this system altogether. So what our real goal, and the AI may or may not be a problem. And I think we're going to have a Luddite and a technologist split in humanity. I think,
yeah, go ahead.
well, look, for those people who integrate with AI enough, get the robot girlfriend or boyfriend of their dreams or whatever stupid shit they're into, pass their business over to the AI, hand the controls of their business over to an AI, hand the controls of their life over to an AI. Like they are begging to be put into a computer program. Because, the physical body's hard to maintain, but, the intelligence in a computer game, well, not. Why not? And they get to experience all the same things that they would experience in the 3D.
Let's talk about the Irma for a second, because I am one.
Yeah, no, yeah, okay, yeah. Let's go in that direction.
Just because I want to push back a little, I'm gonna kick myself if I don't say, what I'm thinking. Yep. All right, the Irma, they have ships that are shaped like a U.
Okay.
So I'm gonna push back and I'm gonna disagree with Ishmael Perez and what he's saying about the Irma being on 31 Atlas. Yep. Because the Irma don't travel like that into solar systems. They use hyperdrives. They travel through the ether. So I'm just going to throw that out there. And
well, my
just for the viewers.
Yeah. No, my best read on Ishmael Perez is that he's a Pleiadian agent. He's not an Earthling at all. And his information on the whole is good. Sorry,
yeah.
I'll say that, but it's not his information. He's being fed. It's being fed to him through whoever his Pleiadian handlers are.
I got you.
And they can tell, and that the story will be more or less coherent with him, right? He'll make it look like that. That's what he believes, but. Remember that there's a source of disinformation somewhere in the milieu, right?
100%. 100%.
There's definitely disinformation, and I would suggest that it's our allies and friends, the Pleiadians, who have made unlimited promises and failed to deliver. Where are the med beds? When are they coming to come and say? When are they going to land on the surface and save us? Like, how come they let the great health crisis of 2020 happen? Right? All of these things, like it just means that they're probably lying to us, and what Ishmael Perez is doing is being the mouthpiece for that lie at the moment.
Right. Okay. So there's two factions, or there's two sides to this Pleiadian thing, because there is some good information. There's the good side
Yep.
to them. And then the Pleiades is a big place. I have a house in the Pleiades
Yeah.
around the star Merope, even though I'm from Lyra and all that. But, you know, there are factions, and we've been battling against each other for a very long time. There's some infighting going on amongst the Pleiades. So yeah, the disinformation thing, I totally agree with that.
Well, look,
And
yeah,
Swaru official has been infiltrated, and I wanted to throw that in there because they're also putting misinformation out about the Irma. So I just wanted to let everybody know that there's disinformation going out about the Irma right now. If they want the facts about it, they can look me up.
speak to an
Get,
Irma. Yeah,
I'm in the Irma military. I lead an astral division in the Irma military,
yeah.
and I'm here on a mission to try to straighten out. You know,
Well,
some
look,
people will think I'm the disinformation, and you can think
well,
whatever you
look,
want.
and that's. I don't know if you ever played the game Werewolf.
No, I
No,
haven't.
no, like you get 10 or 20 people together, and two of them, and everybody gets the farmer card, except two people get the werewolf card. And then they just
Yeah,
watch everybody fight and accuse each other of being the werewolf, right?
yeah.
And it's the game of making everybody fight and confusing everything. And
So
that's
what?
what's going on here. There are a handful of disinformers in the exopolitics movement. Right. And it just makes things hard for everybody to figure out what's going on.
That's,
But I do, but like,
that's the
my,
game, though. That's the game.
oh man, yeah, like, I don't want to play it, to be honest. Like, but I think that I don't
Well,
want
I
to
mean,
get,
you're the first one finding certain pieces of the puzzle. You've got to play. You're one of the main players here.
yeah, well, look, for me, it's about accomplishing the mission. Like,
Yeah,
I don't care. Look, I don't think we've got any friends upstairs, to be honest. And I'll say that differently. With the Pleiadians, there are there's the groups that are actually a million miles away on their stars, and they're nice guys. They're our friends. They would love to help us. However,
yeah,
Earth is currently being occupied. It's like the airspace is being dominated by the Great Nothing. And so the Pleiadians that are here, I would suggest, are captured from those other planets and cloned by this archon force,
yeah.
and they're turned into disinformation agents. And look, I've interviewed a few of them through channel, and what I'd like you to, if you want more on it, go to my YouTube channel, Alabar Jones, and search for the Pleiades in Alabar Jones Pleiades. And I think there's half a dozen or a dozen videos that I do about it. And each of them adds a little bit more to the story. Like and it, and right from the beginning, I didn't want to turn on the Pleiadians. I didn't want to question them, but the evidence
You got
just
to
kept
question
mounting up
everything.
and mounting up and mounting up.
Yeah, you got to question everything at this point.
Well, look, our team at the very beginning was flying missions for Galactic Federation a lot. And they nominate lots of things, but what we sort of came to the conclusion of was that we were flying missions for their benefit, but not necessarily for Earth's benefit. Yeah, okay. So put that all to one side. But so we tried to have a channeled conversation with um, Pleiadian High Command, and nobody would pick up the phone. Like we sat there for 10 minutes, nobody would enter the channel. And then after about 10 minutes, a lady got on the phone, got on the channel, and identified herself as, you'll love this, a senior operative in the Pleiadian religious misinformation group.
What? Wow.
Yeah, 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 exactly. And we talked to her for about 10 minutes. She'd done this on three other planets before this, and it was just working out perfectly, everything I was doing. But she was telling us because we got the fucking question right. Like and from then on, everything makes sense if you look at it as a disinformation campaign.
Right.
Because like med beds, now you see them, now you don't. Where are they? Like it's just a game. They're leading us like a donkey with a carrot in front of us. Like
Yeah.
you know,
It's a med bed, but you need a chip in order to use it, you know?
for real, for real. Is that where it's at now? I stopped listening at that point.
I'm just saying that that could be one option.
Yeah, yeah, that's
Yeah.
it. Yeah, 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 yeah. And so it makes me wonder if Atlas 3I is anything that they say it is.
Yeah, I don't think it is. I believe that it is a psyop, or maybe it's just a story to help the masses become more comfortable with the idea of of aliens. But
Well,
it is
it,
twisting, and it is
it's
twisting up
dumb.
the
It's
star seeding
dumb.
god.
Yeah, no, it's just dumb. Well, look, it sounds a lot like the Nibiru story, and Nibiru
Yeah,
never materialized. Like, what the hell was going on there? Um, but like, there was somebody published that there was a Morse code transmission from Atlas 3. I'm going, are you kidding? Like, if they want to communicate it with us, they can get a scout ship, land it on the White House lawn, and declare whatever they damn well please. All right.
yeah, they're not using Morse code, man.
Oh, look,
Interstellar.
but they're
First,
publishing this crap. Like, are we expected to believe that? Like, ugh. Like
yeah.
as though a city-sized interstellar spaceship can't anyway couldn't speak
Anything in the
directly
mass
to any
media,
into the brain of anyone on the planet.
yeah, anything in the mass media is a psyop.
Yeah, yeah, it's sad. It's sad. Well, so
That there's so many people though. They, I mean, I'm not going to mention names, but I mean, first it's the Jedi's coming in on the comment, and now it's the Irma coming in on comment, and there's a bunch of different stories out there. But if you notice, the Earth is going to be on the other side of the sun when it passes through. That's a little convenient, don't you think? Nobody's going to be able to see it with the naked eye, you know? It's like, okay, they can fabricate all the pictures that they want and make up all the stories that they want, but a few awakened of us know what's going on.
well, yeah, no, but there's just the beauty of it. It's when they drip feed you so little information about it. I tried to watch Michael Salla and George Kavasalis. And seriously, after 35 minutes, they hadn't got to the point. They were just rant. I was just like, just gave up, just going, please, 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 just say something. Don't just ramble forever. And I ended up stopping listening because they just wouldn't fucking say anything. Anyway, so I cussed out. They just wouldn't say anything. They talked without saying anything, and my frustration just got the better of me. Um, yeah, but I can't pay attention to what these guys say. But the way that they drip feed information, there's a whole psychological literature about it, where if you make a vague promise or state a fact that can't be verified, people will then fill in the blanks with their imagination, right? And when it's their imagination, it's their ideas. Well, there's my buy-in. I'm invested in this now. And this drip feeding of information, like what is exactly what they're doing with Atlas 3i. Like they're not like this. We could get a direct radio transmission. We could get a video transmission directly from the admiral himself, going, "This is where I'm going. This is why I'm doing it, and this is what I'm going to do when I'm getting there." So look, I'm looking forward to seeing you on Earth. Let's have a big party when I get there. Right? No, no. Like it's effortless for them to do that. But because it's a psyop, that's not going to get buy-in. That's going to get contest, right? Like nobody's going to believe that an admiral is going to show up and do that because they don't exist, right? The SSP doesn't exist. That's not what's going on. They're drip feeding us information so that we can fill in the blanks And through there, they've just bought our hope. They've just
Yeah,
captured
and
our hope.
stole our attention, and got yeah, exactly. The hopium, the new
Yes,
age hopium.
well, look, and the whole and every single every single savior group that has been a scam. Like,
Yep.
think about the white hats, just trust the plan, sit on your hands and do nothing. Trump, let Trump do the thing. The Pleiadians just sit still, my brothers and sisters, because we're going to come and rescue you. Like all of
Yeah.
them, like the entire description, the whole entire program is sit still and we'll take care of it, right? Every single time. And this Atlas 3I is another one that
Yeah.
fits into that blueprint. Yeah, I got more to say on it.
Unbelievable. It's so
It,
true, though,
it hurts my feelings that,
that people have fallen for. It's
yeah,
just, it's sad.
well, look, if you want to come, well, look, and here's where I say, look, my narrative is, look, I need some bloody help. Like, I'm not going to be the human who goes quietly in the night waiting for a savior because there's so much misinformation, because it's so difficult. Like, why don't we have a human white magic faction? Why don't we have one? Where is it? Well, that's what I'm trying to start. Like, we're astral projecting out there, picking fights with everyone we can find. All, not everyone we can find, but with all of the different people we see abusing humanity in the myriad of different ways that they do it. And we've been doing it for years. It's a very experienced team that we have.
Yeah.
We're good at what we do. You've seen us in action,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. And
It-
there's a lot of people out there like that are just scattered. They don't have a team. They're not part of a team. They don't have a team. That's yeah. There's such a need for that for sure.
well, look, and the beauty of it is, if something goes wrong, you've got team members to lean on. And everybody looks after each other. We're all great friends, and we all look after. It's beautiful. It's beautiful what's blossoming through these groups. But yeah, we're always recruiting. We're looking for more hardcore mystics. We're always people who, you've probably been doing it 10 years, and you've kind of got the healing game. You've more or less mastered it. Well, then come and play with us, because in the war of permission, we keep delivering the answer no in all of the critical places. Um, and but it, we need, but hang on, the process requires high level astral projection, which is something they've been trying very hard to suppress forever. Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And so this is the skill set that they're afraid of. And as it turns out, the humans are far more powerful than they are. And so please support us, and we'll drive them out of our solar system, and then hopefully out of our galaxy. The archon reign here must end for humanity to express itself fully. The world we're living in is a mismatch is mismatched to the human heart. Like the society we're living in, the world we're living in doesn't work for us. It's very uncomfortable because it's not designed for us, it's designed for archon comfort. So, if we
Yeah.
and our work is to turn that around, and we're kicking some very serious goals here. But as always, we just need more help. But if you're
Well,
not, yeah,
maybe we can collaborate at some time because Dahlia. I don't know if you know Dahlia, but
mhm,
we just started the Dream Team, and
cool,
so yeah, we just had our second meeting.
good for
So
you guys.
maybe we can collab at some point. We're just setting up our base now.
Yeah, absolutely. Like and there's probably ways that we can support you in growing your group as well. But
Yeah,
we're not the only group doing it, but our group is the most hardcore that I'm aware of. Um,
yeah. From what I saw, for sure. Yeah, you guys are just killing the lower astral, which is
yeah,
great.
yeah, we're mopping it up. Yeah, like it just doesn't
because
need to be there.
I I I don't have access to that realm really. I don't like,
Mm.
I don't like going there. It's
Nobody does.
from my agreements, my soul agreements. I come through immersion. So
Mm.
I'm skipping my life review. I'm just going back to the pod. I won't come to Earth unless I come through the immersion. It's so much safer. But I could still work in the astral on a different plane. So
Yeah, no, you're doing good stuff, which is why I'm talking to you, you know. Like if you weren't part of this story, like I just wouldn't have time for you, man. Like, God bless you. But yeah, no, I found a way to get everybody involved. Like come October, I'm going to be doing prayer meetings for um prayer meetings for the collapse of the Illuminati, so that they also that everything so that their whole organization falls apart. Like, and I think, and I'll be teaching magical technique there. And I'll be talking about magical process as well. So it'll be great fun. And everyone I've said it to, nobody goes, "You sure you want to do that?" And everybody goes, "Yes, more of that. Yes, please, please." Like,
we're also reclaiming the all-seeing eye, because the all-seeing eye is us in the astral. That's what the all-seeing eye is.
yeah,
It's the
right.
astral. It's the astral warriors that can see 360 degrees. You know, so we've got our base set up, and
Yeah, hit it, man,
we're
hit
we're
it.
going to be focusing on. We just hit there was a target down in a ritual site down in South America
Hmm.
that we hit, um, the first meeting, and
Yeah,
yeah,
good.
we're getting our targets, we're getting our hard targets, and we're going for it.
Yeah,
So
warm it
the
up,
dream,
baby, warm it up. Yeah, like you got to get some bite size, some smaller ones before the larger targets feel easy. Having a bit of
yeah,
team cohesion is really important. Everybody getting used to working together.
yeah. Dolly is great. I don't know her last name, but
You don't have to most of the time. Like,
yeah, Dolly is amazing. She's running the group, and Dan Winter put it together. So
oh, yep,
um, it's pretty cool. It's been great. It's been really good.
that sounds really fun. Yeah, invite me along to one of your flights. I'd love to support you.
Yeah, once we get going, I'll talk to them about it for sure.
Yeah, cool.
We can do a
Yeah, and
collaboration.
and I'll connect you with some other groups when you got one flying. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Always good seeing you, bro.
Yeah, you too, man. Thanks for the
All
chat.
right, love to you, brother. Ciao
You
for
too.
now. Bye bye.
Bye.
And I'm just gonna